Hey everybody, Tiffany Ave here, and welcome to a very special episode of Tiffany Ave Takes. This is the Beyoncé Cowboy Carter Act 2 album review. And you may ask, why did it take so long? And there's a simple answer to that. I wanted to sit with the album. Um, Take time to process songs. A lot of times, as time passes, my understandings of songs change, what they mean, the impact, how I listen to them, how frequently I listen to them change. And I've noticed that last time I was in a real rush to do the album review for Renaissance Act 1. It's on my YouTube channel. Please watch it. I did it very quick, and a lot of things as I listened to the album on and on, like I noticed change. And when I watched that review back, I was like, well, this kind of changed a little bit. So I wanted to give it time. Now, Beyonce Cowboy Carter is the second installment of Acts, and it's not referred to as Renaissance, it's just Cowboy Carter Act 2. So I want to talk about my expectations. I want to talk about the rollout. I want to talk about my favorite tracks. I'll try to talk a little bit about each track. I may sample it a little bit just to trigger my memory um, during the video and just give some outside takes, random just how I feel, but ultimately an album review. Okay. So first I want to start with expectations, and I also took some notes. So if you see me look away, I have a document in front of me that I'm referring to. Um, but first I want to talk expectations. To be honest, I do not set expectations. I just wanted to hit this target because I feel like it's a proper thing to do in an album review. But when it comes to Beyonce, I don't have expectations. When she puts out new music, I'm just along for the ride, ride or die, buckled in. Um, Beyonce is an artist where ever since she started, each album, each album has progressed in a way. It doesn't sound like the same one before, so it's really not a way to set expectations. I will say though, hearing that she was going to do a country album, um, I was ready. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know because Beyonce does things in her fashion, so I didn't know if it would sound necessarily what I thought country to sound like. And I guess that's somewhat an expectation just to like see how Beyonce puts her spin on country, you know. Um and then her post, well, that kind of leads into my next segment, which is the rollout, right? So for the past few albums, Beyonce has just been very spontaneous, We didn't know about it until it was here. So with this album, the fact that she told us about it before it came, I thought was interesting. Because as of late, that wasn't, really her thing. I feel like with this album, she took it back to the B-Day era, one of my favorite eras, top two, not two. She took, she gave us the two singles, 16 Carriages and Texas Hold'em, which I refer to as like a fun song and a slow song. But 16 Carriages, okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'm going to talk about the tracks. But 16 Carriages is a vibe. Like, that may be one of my favorite ballads from Beyonce's slower songs. Like, I love 16 Carriages. And the part for me when she be like, legacy is the last thing that I do. You gon' remember me. Cause you got something to prove in your memory. Ooh! Um, it's just the vocals for me. Texas Hold'em, it was lit. It had the TikTok going crazy. A lot of line dances. I attempted to learn the line dance, but sometimes learning for me has to be an in-person thing. Sometimes, I don't always get it from the videos, but it was a vibe. One more thing with this album, I feel like Beyonce did make it a little more personable. Like she was at meet and greets at rodeos, and I was like, wow, where is Beyonce when where I'm at? But I will say one thing about Beyonce though. Beyonce came to Columbia, which is in South Carolina, which is where I am from. And at the time, like people of a certain, status, once they reach a certain status, don't really come here. And for her to come here, like it was the On the Run tour, and she came to Columbia. That was pretty dope. I didn't have to travel because I always have to travel to see people and to see her. Um, and she came right here, and she talked about like the life, like just how it resonated with her and where she's from. So that was pretty cool, you know. And I thought about that when I heard this album, Country. Um, and then the track list came out, right? When artists, Beyonce aside, when artists put out a track list, it doesn't really do much for me. Like you get to see who the features are and things like that, so it kind of helps you kind of build anticipation. But for me, when it comes to Beyonce, I'm already excited. I never need a track list to drop a day in my life for me to feel the level of excitement that I'm going to feel because it's beat, you know. But just in general, um, track list. When I see a track list, I'm like, oh, okay. I'll read it, but it doesn't change emotion for me. But I appreciate the track list being provided. Um, when you look through the track list, though, naturally you look at collaborations, right? So, for me, the track list, like when I saw the Dolly Parton collab, let me just say, my mama earned a lot of cool points with this album in various ways, and I'll try to touch on it throughout the video. But growing up, my mama played Dolly Parton a lot, especially during Christmas. Like it was a little cassette tape, showing my age, but it was a cassette tape we had. When I heard that little lady country voice, it was up for me. The gifts were multiplying. Okay, like I loved Dolly Parton because of that. She was like she was the symbol that it was up time for me. But anyway, it was good songs, two cute songs, great Christmas album. Um, so when I heard that, it took me back to those days and those very fond memories. She also collaborated with Miley Cyrus, which is very interesting to me because my younger cousin Zarina, shout out to Zarina, love you, boo. Clearly I've been on TikTok too much. I'm gonna be doing this a lot, so it's just a phase I'm in right now. Yeah, growing up, she had a Hannah Montana era, and she was like in love with Hannah Montana. And my mom was a fan of Dolly Parton, and then that just kind of like clicked to me. Like, look at Beyonce bridging the gaps, like the collaborative effort from the older generation in country to the younger generation in country. She has some other collabs on here that I'm gonna I don't think they're as popular artists. I'm sorry. I'm just not that familiar with who they are. But also, I like that too because you're bringing attention to new names. So, just a 360 great use of platform. She has some OGs in the country. Lane, Willie Nelson. Come on now. Clearly, I know a lot about country because of just my upbringing. Like, um, I'm somewhat from a country type of lifestyle, but my mother especially grew up in a country-esque environment. Therefore, I spent a lot of time in those type of environments. Um, so I knew about, those artists from just her. Um, but yeah, Willie Nelson was on there. Um, And I guess I'll kind of go into the album because when I think about Willie Nelson, I think about what he said on one of his intros. I think it's Smoke Hour. And he was just like, basically, sometimes someone that you love introduces you to something new and puts you on, and you can become a fan of it. And I feel like that was to kind of like address the people who were just fans of country outside of Beyonce and felt like she may have been, I guess, appropriating, which is weird to say, but it's the best way I can describe it. The field of music, and it's like, hey, no, you have this legend in our field who's putting his stamp on this, like it's cosign. And to think of Beyonce needing a cosign is crazy. But sometimes people who are established in our world trying to go into other worlds is like they're not established. Like they're just like me or something like that, you know. And I also think about that to talk about, I think Jay-Z one time when he was trying to get into some line of business, maybe the liquor or the investments with like the sports team, I believe more so. And he was just like, you know, they was trying to, I guess, basically gatekeep him, you know, and just to think about all the success you've reached to still, I think when you're black, still have those battles constantly, no matter how hard you work, um, or in those criticisms. So it was just interesting, you know, a lot of barriers, a whole lot of points being applied throughout the album that you think about. Linda Martell. Apparently, she was someone from a previous generation, prior generations, who was like one of the first Black women to kind of get their voice out in country music. But and feel free to look this up and research it. But because of all like the hate speech and the criticism, like she, I guess, was discouraged to continue. And Beyonce made her a part of the album. So and then I think about, you know, how she must feel, you know, to watch that happen. You know, someone be at the top of their game, also go into country in a time where things were much harder, much different, and then have a younger woman come through because you've somewhat helped pave the way for this person. Have her come through, pick you up, and take her with you, and take you with her. Like, it's just so much. It's so much to unpack if you want to get on a deep level. That's why I hate criticism about Beyonce. Because what are we doing? She the only one. I ain't gonna say she the only one, but she really getting it done out here. How can you hate that? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. And I got in a debate with some. Well, I didn't even get into a debate, to be honest. It was I was at a place and some Beyonce hate was happening, and I had to exit because this is hater energy. And it's pointless to argue with people sometimes. So I'm gonna get to another take about that in just a second because I tried really hard not to listen to other people's opinions about this album because when I did my review, I wanted to just give a pure review, not influenced by anyone else's opinion. And for the most part, I did not listen to anyone else. There was one take that I did hear though because it's on Joe Budden podcast and I watch that frequently. And it was basically um, a guy by the name of Ice on there saying that people were saying um, that this particular album of Beyonce could be the album that's nominated for Grammy of the Year, right? For the Grammys. And basically he was saying that some people are going to say now that if she does win it, it's only because of Jay-Z. Because as you may know, or you may not know, but Jay-Z went on stage when he accepted his award, and basically highlighted Beyonce and the fact that you know she's never won Album of the Year, because she's been snubbed 3, 4 times, if that. He was basically saying that people were saying if she wins it now, people are going to say it's because of Jay Z. Here is my take on that, and I'm glad I heard that because I want to address that. And it's a few takes I have on that. One, I don't think Beyonce cares. Um, Because if she cared about that, she probably wouldn't even send her album in for nominations. She probably wouldn't even really attend the Grammys. I think Beyonce feels like her reward comes from people, and naturally, as an artist, you do want to receive awards and recognition and that type of thing. And she has multiple awards, multiple Grammys. Maybe not album of the year, but she does have those awards. She's a Grammy award winning artist. So I think Beyonce thinks it'll be nice if she does receive it, but I don't think Beyonce's purpose and drive is to receive album of the year from the Grammys. I think when I think when Beyonce is opening doors for younger artists or people to come after her, I think that's what Beyonce is proud of and why she continues to do what she does. That's just my take. As someone who's been a fan of her since what Destiny Child came out, what, 97? Just watching her and see, her work ethic, because it's just I think that's where the drive comes from. And I think she thinks it'll be nice if it happens, but you know, I don't think that's like really on her to-do list, if that makes sense. Um Another take is for the people who say if she wins it because of this album, for the people who say it's because of Jay-Z, I'm trying to keep my thoughts I'm trying to keep my thoughts together. The people who say it's because of Jay Z, I feel like are just haters, and it's gonna say it's because of something, whether it was Jay Z or not. They probably would say, "Oh, it's because she's doing country or what society deems as a Caucasian genre." Like the people who say that are gonna always have something to say to discredit her. So it's no point. And I feel like the fact that Jay Z went up there and stood up for his wife, a black man with a black woman, we needed it. So many times we hear Malcolm X said it best that black women are the most unprotected women in America. And for Beyonce, a black woman, to get up to sit there and have her black man go on stage who just accepted an award, who could have just said, "Oh, thank you for giving me this Grammy," but get up there and kind of like, rebel um for his wife and say, "Hey, Grammys, y'all gave me this, but y'all need to get it all the way together." I'm proud of that. Like, no, I feel like there's no other example of that. And we need as many examples of that as we can see. So why use that as a slight? You should be happy a black woman has a black man to go up there and defend her and protect her honor. Like in the old days, on her behalf. Like how could that be used as a slight? Like it just makes no sense to me. Um but yeah, I think that's it on my award talk. Beyonce passed awards, honey. She is Beyonce sets the culture. That's to be honest. Like when these award shows happen and when these TV shows, Saturday Night Live, all these people that incorporate Beyonce into their content, what is the Grammy? She's the pulse of the culture. What is the Grammy? Like the Grammy taking notes. And they just doing that. Well, never mind. This video ain't about the Grammys. I'm not gonna go on a tangent off on them, but let me get back to Cowboy Carter. All right. So that was a hell of an intro. I don't even know how long I've been talking, but I just had to get it off my chest. You feel me? But into the album, yes. Um. Okay. So overall, again, I didn't have any expectation for what this album would sound like, so I just showed up. It's like you go to a party and it's no theme. You're just there for the vibes. Although this was kind of a theme, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna give quick takes on the ones that you know are just you know. I'm gonna give quick takes on the songs, and then the ones that are like in my top five or top, I'm gonna elaborate on a little bit more. So I'm gonna start with American Requiem. I believe that's how it's pronounced. This set the tone for the album. I feel it had a real country sound, instrumentation. First of all, I love songs with live instruments. Like I love them. Um, so basically, slow song. She's just addressing the criticism. Oh, y'all called me country my whole life. Now I put out a country album. I'm not country. Like, is the gist of it. Um, yeah, it's just basically addressing the haters, as Beyonce always does through her music. I love that. Like, she don't even like bother to respond to y'all outside from creating music, which is great because that forces people to pay attention to the music versus, just your Instagram. Um, Blackbird. So I don't want to get no copyright things, so I'm just gonna kind of like sample it just to kind of, you know, trigger my memory. Um, I love the melodies of the song. It's a good bop, good melody. It's a cleanup song for me, like Saturday morning, set a vibe. I actually just did that. That's why I'm doing the review because I freshly listened to it, but I like that. I like the melody of the song. 16 Carriages, um, I can't, it's telling a story, her, let me pause it for a second because I was at a family event. I don't even know if I said this or not. I was at yeah, I did say this. And they was talking about, this is what I was talking about earlier when I was like, I had to leave. And it was like, oh, well, because I put on the album because, I'm going to do it. And when I put on the album, it was like, oh, well, the difference between her and other country singers is, well, first of all, when the music first came on, oh, she can't sing, da, 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 da. Hate. And it was like, well, the difference between her and other country artists is they tell stories. And I'm like, first of all, you hadn't even listened. The song just came on. Why are you giving criticism? You haven't even listened. That's like y'all TikTok. Y'all TikTok era. Like just something quick, fast paced microwave opinions. Y'all didn't even take time to listen to the song. Y'all just too busy trying to find something to hate, find something to criticize. Ugh. But anyway, when I went to say telling stories, that triggered that moment. Sorry. But anyways, telling the story about, just growing up in the life of fame and trying, grinding hard to be successful and just the different eras of her life. Um, Beautifully sang. Okay, so when I go through these songs, I'm gonna tell y'all how I see the performance, the live performance, because a big aspect of who Beyonce is as an entertainer is the performance. You know, so I'm gonna give expectations for the tour because my creative mind just kind of visualizes as I listen to music. So for 16 Carriages, how I see that is she come out, it's just her, maybe a stool or something, and a guy playing whatever this instrument is. Like that's what I'm trying to find out. If y'all know what this instrument is on 16 Carriages, like please let me know because it be hitting like hold on, let me see. 16 carriages. Okay, what is that? But anyway, it's just her on the stage, a girl, because she be putting women up there. So a girl playing whatever that instrument is, and it's just lights down low, we in the we in the audience mosh pit just bawling. Like, girl, I can't wait. Protector, okay? Next song. I really love that song. I feel like it's a beautiful ode to motherhood. Beautiful, ugh, beautifully written. I love the lyrics. Not a mom, but it kind of gives the perception of like what motherhood would be like. Sorry, I'm going to blurry. Okay, going blurry, sorry. Um, yeah, and I love it. I feel like I can't say anything bad about this song. I'm gonna be a protector. It's just, nice vocally, very soothing. It's a soothing song. Next one, My Rose. I feel like that's a empowerment song, low key. And it's just about embracing your flaws. I love when Beyonce sang about that because I am flawed out, according to society. You know, it's just a lot. Like it doesn't appear that way, but honey, like embracing those things, like uh, for as imagery and what people deem as, I guess not just imagery, but I feel like when people say flaws, they're referring to physical. That's what I'm referring to. Um, and just embracing imperfection. I feel like low key looking back on tour, like, and she made a post about it and she was like, yeah, y'all, if I got a fupa, I'm not worried about it. I'm going out there, I'm doing my show. Enjoy. I'm like, yes, because what's the use of hating yourself because of how, whatever. See, you can see a little bit. Like I am, these are like stretch marks here. I don't y'all, that's basically my a lot of my body. But yeah, I just that has nothing to do with who you are as a person. Like just embrace it. Don't feel bad about it. And sometimes, when people who criticize you of stuff like that, it's good that they do that because then you know that they may be shallow or what their interests are. Like if they only want to talk to you if you are perfect, then you can take the microscope and analyze them because no one's perfect. And I love that that comes from Beyonce because she's deemed as like, perfection, you know? So her sending the message is, it's a vibe. And it's almost unexpected because people who society deem perfect, like they try to influence that or they try to stay under that light. And she's like, nah, smoke hour. I talked about that. Texas Hold'em. This ain't Texas. Every time I listen to that, I gotta go put my hat on, cowboy hat. And I intend to have it on for this video, but I don't know where it's at. Um, Everybody knows Texas Hold'em is alive. Like it's like you can't sit still on that song. Like you just can't. Bodyguard. Kisses in the backseat. Honey. Like it's a bop. Bodyguard is a bop. Okay, I mean it's a good ride in the car song. It's a good cruise song. Dolly P is when Dolly P take me back. It take me back because one thing about Dolly Parton, she gonna give a talk intro. She gonna do that. That's just her thing. Um, Dolly Parton was also someone who was like criticized too as a woman in music. So it's a lot of women in country and it's a lot of established women in country somewhat. So for her to pick her and they kind of have that similarity a little bit was cute. She did the intro to Jolene because naturally Jolene was her song. Her version of it was Jolene, please don't take my man. Beyonce version is Jolene, try and take my man. I dare you. Um, which leads into the song itself, Jolene. Jolene was interesting to me to listen to because it almost seems like it's like a warning, like don't mess with my man, that type of vibe. But for me, listening to that, like Beyonce is singing so beautifully, like it's hard to take it serious as a diss. Um, for me, just for me, my take, like. she did a lot with the vocals in there, like runs and uh extended. I don't know the technical musical term, y'all, but high notes, low notes, range, la la la, vibrato. Maybe I do know the terms. um, but like it was a lot of on the Renaissance film, she was like, "Oh, I'm using my voice as an instrument," and Cowboy Carter, I really hear it. She did a lot with her voice on this album, a lot. But that song in particular, like it's just like, is this a diss song? It's beautiful, Beyonce. You need to sing it like "Don't Hurt Yourself." What else? And she brought a choir on there. B, you dissing this lady with a choir? You don't got a holy diss. But she said it's not typical country. It's Beyonce. I feel you, sis. Um, let's see. Daughter. Okay, see, this is one of the songs I'm glad I waited to do this review for, because Miss Tina just came out and said that like Daughter was supposed to be like an opera bass type song. So she's singing out a play basically. And she did a little opera, not little, she did some opera vocals towards the end. And I'm glad Miss Tina explained that. Because to be honest, when I first heard this song, I was a little concerned for my sis. I was like, wait a minute, let me just hold on. This is about killing somebody at the beginning. I was like, wait, we just came off Jolene. What's going on, sis? Blink. I was like, I didn't know what to think, because I'm gonna support sis regardless. Like, if you got a trial, I'm gonna be standing out there with a little sign, But I'm glad Miss Tina explained that. Spaghetti. Plain Jane spaghettis. I love rap Beyonce, and Beyonce trying to like not. It's right there at you, sis. You've been rapping low key your entire career. It's time to put out the rap album. Don't let this AI Beyonce uh get all the shine, because they put out an AI track a while back, bruh. Beyonce, people in the streets is saying Act 3 is rock and roll. I think Act 3 should be rap. It's probably already made, because you said Renaissance was 4 years ago. But consider rap, sis, because you've been giving that to us. It's not high that you be calling me, checking me, saying, that's rap, sis. Like, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it for the culture. You got this. We rooting for you, queen. Like, still do the rock and roll. I'm with that, because the way I love a guitar, do the rock and roll. But why stop at 3x? Because people been saying just 3, like, for the longest. Please include rap. Like, it ain't even got to be an act, but just somewhere along the lines. We need bars from B. Make a mixtape. Ain't gotta be the full album. That's all I'm saying. Requests from your girl. Alligator Tears. To be honest, I've listened to the album a lot, y'all. And this is the song that still kind of is up in the air for me. I'm not sure what Alligator Tears mean. I've listened to the song, and, you know, I love the melody, the sound. I just listen to it in order for the most part, most of the times when I listen to it, and I let that play. But I don't have much of a take on that song, because I don't know what alligator tears mean. So, Smoke Hour. Willingness to come back on. He like, I was like, okay, Weezy F. And he introduces Just for Fun. This is, yeah. Whenever Beyonce singing that deep low tone, I'm here for it, because I can't do high notes. I can barely do the low notes, but I can do the low notes better than the high notes. Most Wanted, Miley and Beyonce. I feel like My cousin and I would have went nuts if this came out in what, '09, maybe '07. And this song crept up on me. I didn't expect to like the song as much as I do, and I listen to it a lot now. I feel like it's maybe 4 or 5 off this album. It's a favorite. Um, the voices together, the harmonies, they have a good collaboration sound. I don't know, good harmony, sync. Their voices sound nice together. This would be stressing me out trying to sound musical. But I like to hear their voice together, and I like this song. Um, this was the most, I guess, traditional country-esque sound of the album to me. And it's just about, I really haven't said what the songs are about, but I want you to listen to the album, you know. Um, Levi Jeans. I love Levi Jeans. Levi Jeans is the boppiest of the bops from this album. It's given Walker Hayes. Walker Hayes is one of my favorite country songs is by Walker Hayes, and it's called "You Girl." And when I heard Beyonce was doing country, I guess well, it wasn't an expectation, but one of my desires was I want her to have a "You Girl" type bop vibe song on there, and this song fits closest to that. Um, it's flirty, it's cute, it gives new artists Beyonce. I feel like every album there is kind of that song that gives that '01 Beyonce first going solo. And for me that song fits into that vibe. Um Flamingo, like this. I like it. I like it. Not a super huge take on that. I like it though. You know, it's short. It's 1 minute. It's like an interlude, I'm guessing. Well, no, it's not an interlude. Sorry, but it's a shorter song, and I do like it. You just gotta listen to it. Some things can't be explained. It's just a vibe. Those one of those songs you just gotta listen to it. Moving on, Linda Martell show. So this is introducing Yaya, and I want to make a separate video just about Yaya because Yaya, it's my favorite song from the album. I will give you the list of reasons why. One, I feel like this song embodies who Beyonce is as a performer just on a track. There's so many sections to that song, like where the song kind of like changes tempos, changes vibes. It's upbeat. I'm here all day for upbeat Beyonce. It's my favorite Beyonce. It's lit, it's a party, it's a message all in one. Started out with a message. When I first heard that song, like intro itself, I could tell it was gonna be upbeat because it's like coming on like that. And then the first thing she say, "My family been dying in America." Oh, so you hitting the beat like that with a message? Wasn't expecting that. I loved it though. I'm always here for a message. Matter of fact, I'm a huge fan of Beyonce because she always got a message. What other artists today stand for something? I can't name one. What artist came out in the last 2 years that stand for something? What last artist came out in the last few years that preaches well, not preaches, but has a message, teaches something, has a morals, has a message in the music, talking about something of substance? Last 5 years. Last 2 years. What artists come out in the last 5, 10 years that actually teach you about something, huh? I'll wait. Nobody. Um, but yeah. And then she gets, I don't want them to like cut my video because of that. And then it's a lot. That's a lot that I like about that song. I'm gonna just make a separate video with the music attached. But yeah. It's a part of the song. It's a part, so many parts. So many parts. It's so good. It's a part at the end. That's like my favorite part of the song. It's like the guitar come on and start doing like a and then My nails ain't done. They gonna get done this week. Relax. Bruh. Why would this happen to me? Y'all saw my notes. That's embarrassing. Okay. But anyway. Yeah, it's a part in the end where the guitar be like, and she take her voice and she do the same exact sound. She be like, that's my favorite part of that song, bro. I'm gonna try to play it. I think that's it, y'all. Yeah, yes, yeah, I love that part. It's other parts in there I like too. It's safe to say it's my favorite song. Like I just can't imagine like the show. Like I feel I want. I don't know if she's gonna go in order of the album. I feel like she might, right? But please, you gotta end it with this one because I don't know if she should end it with this. It's too lit. Like you can't get us that hype and then end it. Maybe I take it back. Maybe she should intro it with this. Either way, this part of the tour I okay. This is why I want my seats to be next to her if it's designed the same way or similar. Because low key, why are all these people here? Like I know Beyonce is amazing. She's the girl, that girl, artist of the century, artist of the decade. But some of these people got to go. Like I'm too introverted for this. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. Okay, so they got a VIP riser, right? It's to the side. I don't want to be to the side. I mean, if I got see, well, if you're listening and you want to buy me VIP riser tickets, be my guest. But my ideal seat, if it's designed similar, you know the little strip where she come out and it's like round right there. That's where I want to be. Hmm? Right there, front row and center with the sign. I don't know what it's gonna say yet, but that's where I need to be. See me, Beyonce, girl. Because and I'm gonna have no voice because like I just that's where I need my CV at the end of the day. Because one, y'all killing me with these hats. If you tall, don't wear no hat. Be considerate. If you get to your seat and you see somebody behind you is shorter than you, take the hat off. Take your picture, get your vibe, post to the ground, do it for the gram. I don't care. I know it's a vibe. I know it. Go ahead and record your snaps before the show start and take the hat off. Like, and now it was hats last time. Now it's country people have hats. I am short. That's my only, bruh. Like, I'm short. I can't see over y'all hats. And then the Bria, she went with me. Shout out to the Bria. And like, we kind of transitioned because I was pouting. I was pouting. I'm gonna be a baby and I'm gonna be spoiled. Yes, whatever. I was pouting because when she go to the side, okay, it was people. First of all, everybody in front of me was taller than me. It was just some people were less taller, and I could see through them. I don't have to go through that. Like I need Beyonce to double back. You know how she did a live at Roslyn, and it was like a intimate setting, and it was like a small amount of people. I need her to do that one more time for the culture, and don't do it in New York. Come down south. We sing in country now. Come down south and do it. You know, House of Blues. Sorry, that was just a small place to think of. But and do like 3 nights. Beyonce, girl, I'm tired of these hats. And the next album gonna be rock. Do people wear hats and rocks? Or now see if it was rap, we wouldn't have that problem. I don't know, might people wearing boombox. I can't. But anyway, if you're watching this and you're an audience member, please be considerate with the hats. That's all I'm saying. And on top of the hats, they had the fan. I was like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, um, Oh Louisiana, I like Oh Louisiana. I meant to say this about the Linda Martell intro to Yaya. Whenever Beyonce put somebody talking in front of her song, it's gonna be fire. Flawless. We teach girls to um dang. Hold up. Sexist. The person who believes no. Feminist. Dang, I'm going blank. Ooh. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. That song was fire. Like anytime there's somebody talking in front of it, it's about to be fire. And they all fire, but it's about to be volcano. I guess that's the next extent of a fire. Ooh, this one playing, y'all. This one playing. There's an evil in the backseat. This is you getting ready. You about to go out with your boo. You know, it's a vibe. Or in the crib. There's an evil in the backseat. I gotta cut it because I'll be done sit here and say the whole song. It's a vibe. I'm gonna stop doing that. Riverdance, bounce on this day, hey, bounce on this day. Running through the rhythm with you there. I love that. It's just it gives that song gives a lot. It gives a little Motown, you know. It's a lot. It's a lot. How she was right. It's not just a country album. It's a Beyonce album. It's sprinklings of every genre. Favorite part of this song. I'm just gonna play my favorite part and I'm gonna let it go. I ain't even gonna say nothing. That's all. And I came back clear when it ended. Cute. Hands to Heaven. Y'all know I love this song. My my love went like lava. Okay, that's it. That could have been just the song, and it would have been a vibe. I'm a stallion running. I can't sing, y'all, so I'm doing the best I can. Tyrant, the intro. Time to strike a match and light up this chip joint. Then the beat drop. Okay, bring a little trap country. I was gonna try to say trunk tree. That didn't roll off the tongue, and then I was gonna say crap, but then moving right along. Sweet Honey Bucket. Eventually, I'm gonna try to make this TikTok. It's such a cute TikTok. Amen finishes it out. We got the final song, y'all. And I feel like it goes back to the same tone of the original. It's almost like a roller coaster. You know how it starts out and you on that little flat area and go up and it do all those loops and turns and da 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 da, and then it comes back and it brings you in on that same note. That's what amen is. Like amen. So I'm praying that y'all get it now. I pray that y'all after this you understand that genres are not defined by race. You know, my hope is for the future that things change. My hope is that you have an understanding and you learn something from listening to this musical adventure. That's amen. Let the church say amen. Okay. But yeah. That's gonna take it an album. Before it's a score, of course I'm gonna give it a 10 of 10. This just speaks to artistry. You know, this just speaks to having true influence and using your platform. This speaks to opening doors. There's been so many artists where they've seen their numbers increase, new artists, black artists in country, as a result of this album, because now people are searching for more, of this, the collaborations, the opportunities, the open doors, the taking people from the past on our side and other sides, bringing them together, just so you can understand that music is a feeling. It's not how you look or where you're from. Sometimes it's where you're from. This album, again, when Beyonce does what she does, it makes you proud to support her. It made me proud to be a fan. I like seeing Beyonce embrace, or maybe not embrace because this is her lifestyle, but I'm proud to see Beyonce put forth the lifestyle of people who may not be deemed as glamorous, or because when you're from the country and when you're from the South, like in other places, sometimes you can be looked down upon. Sometimes you're seen as like ignorant because you may not pronounce things the way people from other places do. You may not live in a uh, metropolitan type environment where there's a lot of people. Sometimes your roads, dirt roads, sometimes it's farms, sometimes it's animals, sometimes it's just, simple. And I feel like this album, I didn't talk about a lot of what the songs were about, but I want you to listen to it for yourselves and get an understanding. But she talked about a lot of that lifestyle as well through her music. And I love the fact that it's coming from someone who's deemed like the most glamorous and luxurious and top of the line, who has this extreme, fancy lifestyle to put forth her roots and things that are pure. I would think are pure to her, and having people who live that same lifestyle identify with that and be put forth for a lot of people to see, and maybe their perception of what that is may change or may be more accepted. So those are just kind of like my final thoughts and takes on the album. Um, and so yeah, that's my take on the album. If you haven't heard it, do yourself a favor and check it out. She really don't need me to promote her album, but I think it's worth the listen. And let me know your take in the comments. What did you think about the album?